Hello everyone, my name is Mirna and on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome to Mindalia live streaming, where thousands of people around the world gather daily to see the lectures and interviews organized by Mindalia TV. Today with us, Angel Rebo, CEO, consultant, TV host, international public speaker, and president of the Wisdom for Kids Foundation, is being joined by the amazing Sunny Chayes. Sunny is not only the host of this show, but also the host of ABC Solutionary Sundays. She is the feature writer and chief strategist for Whole Life Times magazine, the longest running conscious life magazine in America. Sunny is also a producer, moderator, and a mythbuster. Before starting with them, we want to remind you that Mindalia's mission is to share information that can help raise the level of consciousness around the world, and you can help us by subscribing to our channel, leaving us a positive comment down this video, or sharing it with someone that you know that is going to benefit of the content that we're going to be talking here today. Also, while we are live streaming, like right now, we have the active chat, the screen that you're going to be seeing here on my side, and there you can interact with us. You can ask us your questions at the end of the conference. They will be answered. Also, we want you to collaborate with us with your own valuable content. And for that, you can go to our website. On the top, you're going to be finding a link. It says Collaborate with Mindalia. That link is going to take you to a form that you can fill out for our technical team to be getting in contact with you. Remember that you can collaborate with us in Portuguese, Spanish, and English, as you already know. So Portuguese through Mindalia Televisão, English through Mindalia TV English, and Spanish in Mindalia Televisión. I'm not going to delay this any further, and I am going to leave you with Angel, Sunny, and a very special guest that we're going to be having today with us. Guys, welcome to Mindalia live streaming. The screen is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Mirna, very much for your wonderful introduction. Before we move forward just to the other guest and co-host, there's a little bit of feedback, actually, as Rickie said before. So if we can lower it a little bit, Christy, excuse me. If you can lower it a little bit, maybe. Okay, awesome. So, Sunny, welcome. And now that, we've been mentioning the Whole Life magazine so many times for so many weeks, and we've never been able to show any of them. So look at that. I happen to have a few with me, right with me, from California to Texas. How great is that? I think that you are muted, Sunny. How great is that? Two wonderful issues. By the way, this is a free magazine here, Whole Life. This is a beautiful, both of them are beautiful covers.
And you people can go online anywhere and actually get all the articles and all that stuff online. So it's really great. And actually, our guest doesn't know, but I mentioned her in one of the articles. Actually, I've mentioned her in two. One she knows about, one she doesn't. So we will chat about that. But Angel, before we bring Rickie Byars on, I wanted to chat with you about something that I think is going on so much with Christmas and the holidays and the holiday holy light time that we're in. I'm hearing this conversation so much with different friends of mine and people where they're in this place of like, I know something is next for me, but I don't know what it is. Or maybe some people do know what it is, but a lot of people don't know. And there's sort of, wow, there's a third act or a second act or a fifth act or whatever. And it's, really coming up. And so I wonder if you're in that place at all, Angel.
Well, it's funny that you said that, because yesterday I had a life-changing conversation with someone really, really powerful in the entertainment business. So, I'm on a permanent, I don't know if I share this with you or with the audience, but I'm on a permanent, literally surrender experiment myself. So I'm trying to be not, trying not to attach to anything which I think it's not going to be, expanding. Yeah, we are at this last, 15 days of the year, in which a lot of things happen, right? A lot of we meet with a lot of people, a lot of friends. We talk with them. We wish them the best, and it's a life-changing, moment in the year. And definitely, I think that this has been a year of change for a lot of people, but it's also going to be an amazing year next year. There's lots of things happening, among others. All these many, public servants swearing in their new positions. in January 3rd at Capitol Hill, by the way.
Right, so we're going to be talking about that for sure. Only love Capitol Hill, like Les Brown brought you to be saying when leading with only love, only love. And, you know, it feels like a chant. It feels almost, you know, easy to say. It's not always easy to do, that's for sure. And the reason I'm bringing this conversation up about change is because our guest, Rickie Byars, just came out with a CD that's called My Oh My, It's Time to Fly. And, you know, I know in her life, I've been feeling it for a number of years as a silent observer. But seeing, you know, maybe even many years ago, we did a big event in Sedona. And right around that time, I was feeling that the time was coming for her to sort of have her own voice and step out into her own world, because she was in kind of a bigger world with other people. And it was sort of like, well, where's Rickie and all that? You know, what is Rickie? Where is Rickie? How is Rickie? So, you know what? I feel like maybe I should just kind of bring her on, shall we, Angel? Just to bring her into the conversation.
I mean, I've been looking at her smile, and I can't stand it anymore without talking.
I do want to give her a little bit of an introduction, but we can bring her on. Rickie Byars, for many years, was the sole bricks and mortar, I feel, kind of ubiquitous spiritual energy of a place called Agape International Spiritual Center that is in LA, but it sort of permeates all over the world. And Rickie was such a part of that, and many people sang her songs, and they, including me, and didn't even know her or know her music. We were just given sheet music and sing this song, and it changed so many people's lives, including my own, before I even met her. And so she does that. She's a very, very serious social activist in specific ways that actually make impacts, specifically having to do with kids, because she's a big kid herself, and so she just can't help herself. And she does a lot of things very quietly and very anonymously all around, and in our areas in LA and places all over the world. So in some ways I feel like she's a seriously sung hero, and in some ways an unsung hero. So we're going to shift that up a little bit, I feel, in the new year. So
even more, Rickie. Oh my God!
My oh my! It's time to fly. Let's bring on Rickie Byars.
welcome, Rickie. Oh, you have an instrument over there, Rickie? Oh my God!
She always has a...
That was a nice sound effect. I wasn't ready. We've never had sound effects before, Rickie, so that you know.
That's an out-of-tune piano. That's what that is, Angel.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, welcome. Yeah, it's funny because I've heard so many things about this center, and you know, the amazing things that it has represented to the LA area and to California. So it's a blessing for us to have you, Rickie. Welcome to Mindalia today.
Thank you very much. It's such an honor to be here with you, Angel. And always with Sunny.
Oh, thank you. So I'm interested in having you sort of chat, if you want to, kind of to our conversation about how it feels for you and for maybe people around you with this sort of really time to step it up, move into something totally different. And maybe we've never even done it before, you know, something so new and scary and exciting and all that.
Well, I am the person that knows how to leap. I've been leaping since I was a little kid. My first leap was when I was 4 years old, when I left my family. And I chose to leave my family to go for fame and fortune, to live with my aunt who had means, and she had money, and we were a poor family. I didn't know that we were poor, but I knew that what she was offering sounded better than what we had. And I left my family of 7, you know, brothers and sisters, and 6 brothers and sisters, and that was huge because I'd never been away from them. And for the next 4.5 years, I would experience life as pretty much an only child, away from my family, with things, but with no substance, you know. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about what happens when you try to condense children into a little box or a person. You know, I learned a lot about what it means to be free by returning home to my family 4.5 years later. You know, a bit neurotic, but certainly full of joy to have returned to my family, you know. And so that was a big leap. That was probably one of the biggest leaps I've ever taken, except for, you know, the leap into motherhood, which was a powerful leap. My leap to go from the South of the United States to New York to look for Stevie Wonder to get my record deal. You know, like, that was a big leap. I mean, I've been leaping forever. You know, it's like, so I know how to leap, but this last leap from Agape was probably the most challenging one I've ever had, because it kind of even makes me teary. It's like, because I had to leave the choir, and the choir was the most important aspect of me at Agape, the Agape International Choir, because they were my instrument. You know, well, they were my obvious instrument. My instrument is my heart. My instrument is my voice. I mean, that was hard. And, you know, of course, leaving relationships and things that have been my life in the form that they have been, you know. So that whole surrender or just willingness to let go and to release into something greater has been what I've been really sinking into probably since that Rhythm and Joy Festival in 2013. That was a big leap.
That was a big leap, yeah.
And not to go down too far into that rabbit hole of Raj, because that's a show by itself. But on the opening day of this music festival, Angel, that I had given birth to, it was a great festival. But on the opening day, winds showed up at 80 miles per hour.
Yeah, and it was all outside. Everything was outside.
And it was an amazing experience and experiment. But what I found was that those winds were blowing away everything that was small in me, everything that was unsure. I mean, it just blew it away. It was like, and when the winds died down on Monday morning, when the festival was done, the stage was being taken down, and I was looking at the stage and what was, I realized that I had achieved something very, very powerful. I was like 10 pounds lighter. I was 3 shades darker. My lips were sunburned, you know, because it was something else with the winds and the heat. But I was a different woman. You know, I was a different person, and I knew who was standing with me, and I knew who couldn't stand with me. And so the knowledge of all of that really would be important in these days that I'm in now. You know, I know who I am. I know what I came to do. I know that, you know, I've served well, and I know that it's okay to move on. It's all right. You know, I brought my best, man. I brought my A game. To Agape. I brought my A game. You know, I left them with a book of music that sources New Thought centers all over the world, you know, but it started at Agape. And so I'm still there through the music, you know. So, you know, the thing that restores my soul every day, Angel, as I let go, is returning to the virtues that are real, like the truth. Well, like, what is true in my life? What brings justice? Where am I just? What is really the right use of my life? You know, where is there harmony? What are the things I'm doing? Do they bring me more harmony, more peace, more balance? And when I just weigh the world against that, then I know that I'm in my right place. And I know when I'm out of alignment. And using those principles, I can get myself back. And it's a very simple process. And you say, does it bring me joy? Is it the right use of my talents, my gifts? Is it fair here? Is there reciprocity? Is there joy? You know, it's like, and I can go on because I know that I'm walking in the truth as being revealed to me.
What a wonderful statement. Is it the right use of my life? Is it the right use of my life? Right. What I'm doing now, is it the right use of my life? That's so powerful. that's so life-changing in itself. When you were describing what happened that day, those 3-4 days, it reminded me of a few situations in my life in which I had to do something like really dramatic in a very short period of time, and like just jump without a safety net, right? And obviously, I have a lot of questions. We're going to ask you: have you already written a book about how to consistently and systematically leap? That's one thing, right? What are the lessons that you have been able to teach everybody? Because I mean, this is so powerful when you are able to learn something from one of those situations that the life throws at you. So how would you say, when you reach out to people and when you're trying to help people, people on the streets or people that just show up in the center or just get to meet with you at a coffee shop, what's that one thing that you perceive, you feel that they need the most?
I think they need most for me to be my truest, authentic self. That's what they need most. You know, it might seem that they need money, but what they need is for me to show up. And when I show up and I can see what is great in them, even when it's shut down in them, it really, I don't know what it does, but for me, it's like, I see you. It's like, I'm not going to look past you like you don't exist. And I'm not trying to treat you like that the answer, I don't want to treat you like the answer is not inside of you. So many times in spiritual community, people think you have their answer, you know, and they forget that the answer is inside of them. You know, it's just covered up with a lot of bad programming that says that the answer is not inside of you, that the answer is in confession. The answer is in this, the answer is in that, the answer, and all those things help us to get more in alignment. It's good to talk to people. You know what I think is the greatest thing about Uber and Lyft? Do you have Uber and Lyft in Spain, Angel?
Well, I'm in Texas, but in Spain it has been on and off. It has been banned many times. I think that right now they can only do a few things. So the answer is probably no right now. But there was from some time. But the problem was that the drivers were, unfortunately, they were being beaten up by other communities of professionals. Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way.
Very well put, Angel. Very well. You know what you're not saying, Angel. That's the right use of your language right there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, because I actually lived. I remember one day I was getting out of a Hilton hotel in Barcelona City, and Uber had been there for 3-4 months, and we had to hide. Literally, we had to hide. He picked me up on a place where nobody else could see us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he knew he was going to be beaten up and his car was going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
And all sorts of things. So, but anyway.
But what I was saying about Uber and Lyft, the greatest thing I think, and I was talking to an Uber driver yesterday, my nephew, is that Uber provides therapy without going to the psychologist. Like you talk to the Uber driver about everything, the Lyft driver, and they're sharing their thoughts. You're sharing yours, and there's this conversation where you get to share our ideas. When you see people in need, right, on the street, and you walk past them like they don't exist, or, you know, it's like, I give them money, you know, just so I can say, I see you, you know, and you have a good day. You know, it's like, because you're out here on the street doesn't mean it's the end of your life. It's like, that means you're in this zone right now, but I see you, you know, and hey, I hope this can help you a little bit. If I'm at church, it's like, hey, and somebody has some issue, believe me, they lean hard on you when you're the music director. And, you know, it's like, I had to get to the point where I'm going like, those people over there, they can listen to you right now. Me, I sing for you. I just sang to you. And you're returning to your pain. So that means that pain is there to teach you something. So you need to listen to it and sit with it and be with it until it reveals what it came to teach you. And you know, but I had to get really strong to be able to say that to people. You know, not that I was afraid to say it, Sonny, but because I hadn't quite gotten there.
Yeah.
Sonny, where did you find this tsunami of wisdom? Come on.
Life. One step at a time. Life, you know.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I'm speaking to two people who are, I feel, are inspirational to me and so courageous and so creative. Both of you guys are so creative, and you do leap. You're both leaping leapfrogs. I mean, you know, you really are. It's like when I think of all the different things, Rickie, both of you, I mean, Rickie and Angel, you get an idea and you just go for it. You know, it's about like, come on, people. And you bring people with you. Come on, people, let's get going already. And that's what, you know, I mean, I see you, Rickie, with the choir, and what I didn't really say in the introduction, I want to make really clear to people who may not know, is that not only were you the choir director, but you wrote and continue to write some of the most important songs in sort of the spiritual community, we want to say, the sacred community. And again, like I was sort of saying earlier, that they have gone to places where people have used them in every kind of ceremony, Angel, you can imagine, from birth to death and everything in between all the time. And people, you know, with their last, you know, dying breath, people have sung songs to them and, you know, like that. So the music is kind of astounding. I mean, and what it does for people. And that's why I feel like, and many people have said this to me, Rickie, about the music, that they feel like, I mean, it's not to make a comparison, but Michael's sort of the front man, you know, but the music, a lot of people say, is sort of more famous. I mean, it's sort of more ubiquitous in our world. And and you just let the music come, you know, you just let the music come, and we are so glad about it. Actually, can I ask you to let some music come right now?
You were going to do the Christmas song and you kind of like forgot.
Oh, well, you mean, should I do my song first to get my song out of the way?
Yeah, get your song out.
Okay. Okay, guys,
Sonny, not get your song out of the way, but but you,
okay,
you
correct that verbiage, please.
This
Rickie,
is an example.
help Sonny, Rickie with the
Oh my
verbiage,
God.
please.
We're doing
so
that.
unfortunate. Exactly, like that's something that we have to do, and we have to like. No, not at all. Let's enjoy your song. Come on, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Sonny.
and you know what? I'll tell you, this is an example of leaping, because my dad wrote this song in 1987 called "Why Can't Every Day Be Christmas?" And for many years, after my dad passed away, things were put away. And then my stepmom sent me a box of his music and stuff. And in the box was this sheet music. So for many years, I put the sheet music next to my to the tree with the presents and all that. And one day I looked at it, it was around Christmas, and I thought, maybe I'm meant to sing this. What is this music? And I had never heard it. I never heard my dad sing it. I didn't know anything about it. And so I took it to Unity, where I was singing at the time. And I had the pianist play it and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, cried many times hearing it, because I just, you know, it was my dad's song and he'd already passed away. And so I ended up starting to sing it at Unity, even though it was tough to do, but it then became Sonny's dad's song. So this is an example of leaping. And so funny that I looked at it for many years and never even thought of singing it myself. So why can't every day be Christmas? So I will sing this for you now.
Go ahead.
Why can't every day be Christmas? Every day be merry, every day be one that's of good cheer. Why can't every day be Christmas? Every day be jolly, every day be one that's free from fear. There are children who are homeless, who are frightened and alone, who may dread the chilling darkness of the night. There are nations that are fighting, young men who may die, who may never see the dawning's early light. Let's make every day a Christmas. Every day be jolly. Every day be one that's of good cheer. Let's make every day a Christmas throughout and all the year, so that folks will love another, treat each other like a brother, and deck the halls with gladness to be here. Bum 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 bum. Merry Christmas, guys.
Well done.
Yes,
Thank you.
Sonny, your voice, you know, you got a little quality. You have a beautiful voice. You have that Karen Carpenter quality.
Do you know, somebody else said, people have said that to me before, and I used to think that was so like not a compliment, and now I think of it as a compliment, so thank you.
Yeah,
and in the morning, you know.
Yeah, you sound great. I used to think the same thing about Roberta Flack when they's like, oh, you remind me of Roberta. Oh, Roberta. Now I love it. It's like, whoa, Roberta was killing it.
Oh my God, yes. But you know, that song means so much. You know, when at Unity, they didn't want me to use those sort of harsher words about people who may die. But, you know, I feel like that song is more relevant now than ever. So it just kind of gets me, because it's like, you know, why can't every day be Christmas? So, but it can be. So, you know, in the spirit of it. And so that's my story for now. That's my leap.
Let me ask Rickie a question. Obviously, thank you very much. It's been beautiful, Sonny. So what's the magic in the music? I mean, what is that part of music that makes people heal?
That's a beautiful question. I don't know what it is. I think it's the sense. I just know about my own music and the way music has healed me. And so when I was 6 years old and maybe 7, and I was away from my family, I had the good fortune to hear Nina Simone come over the radio, and she was singing this song by Gershwin called "I Loves You, Porgy," from Porgy and Bess. I didn't know all of that about Gershwin. You know, I didn't know about Porgy and Bess. I just knew that when I heard that voice and she says, I love you, Porgy, please don't let him take me. Don't let him have, I just started crying. It's like, and you know, if you could keep me, I want to stay here with you forever, you know, and it spoke to something in my heart that totally allowed me to own my sadness about being away from my family. You know, it's like it just took away all my, you know, how you try to make yourself, you prop yourself up and you say, I'm okay, I'm okay. You know, I can, because little kids, they keep going. Little kids are sturdy. They go like, you know what? I'm gonna make it through. The will to survive is very powerful in children. And I had that. But when that song came, it disarmed me. So I think the magic that what makes us heal is that when there is a song or something in music that disarms us, that gets through all those barriers and things that we have built around ourselves to protect ourselves, you know. And then there's a song that comes and it goes like, ah, you know, and it just does that. It just goes like, and before you know it, you're crying and you're going like, okay, I'm tender. It makes us tender again. That which can make us tender again. Yeah.
At the Agape Center, could you explain more to the people what you, I mean, what is the center for? You know, what would it take for you to take it to Dallas, and so you would be closer to me?
for it,
no, I was just making a joke. It's just like
I wanted to hear it. I wanted to hear that joke.
I was making a joke saying, you know, what would it take for you to take it to Dallas so you would be closer to me and I could benefit more from it?
Just a concert.
Exactly.
A concert. Rickie's about the music now.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm not. I really left my post at Agape really strong. The place that in many ways, I helped to build. You know, so I left my post. But what I found on the road, singing at different centers and different places, like I'm going to be at Sony Hall in New York City on January 7th. I'm doing concerts here and there, sometimes in churches, sometimes in clubs with my daughter. I have a daughter who's pretty phenomenal, and her name is Georgia Ann Muldrow. And Georgia produced my latest CD. She's a producer, and she's amazing. And she just came back from London. And so she'll be in LA with a great singer, Aloe Black, as part of his Christmas New Year's Eve program. But then we are together in New York. So what I found on the road was that I get to meet all these people that love me, you know, and if they never met me, they love me quick. Because
yeah, that's true.
They just really do love me. You know, the music is something to love, you know, it's a gift. And so what I would bring to Dallas, thank you, Sonny, you are the best.
You are? You're coming to Dallas?
What I would bring to Dallas is the same thing that I brought to New York, and every place I go, I just bring myself. And I sit down and at the piano and share. And allow the music to do what it does. Did I answer your question, Angel? I don't know. Did I answer?
Oh, no, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I misunderstood something from the introduction, but you absolutely did. And I was going to say, you know, I mean, how we mentioned before people on the streets, right? People that you say hello and they deserve the best day ever as we do, even if we have a home and they don't. But, you know, what made you go from where you were to being a musician, to being a singer, and to be even surrounded by family? What a beautiful journey.
Hey, I was born into it. It's like not into a musical family. I was just born into a vibration, you know. And like when I was a very small child, I would be awakened in the morning by these angels or fairies. That's what they look like. They really look like little leprechauns, and they would just dance on the windowsill every morning. It was just like, Rickie, wake up. And I know that sounds like really impossible, but that was my life. It's like these sound creatures would wake me up with all, and they'd have so much joy. And, you know, all the time singing. And my first children's choir was with this woman named Anita Stroud, and she'd go like, sing, baby. Sing that song, you know, and all the little children would be, I got the joy down in my heart. And she would go, sing. And so just to be around people who said sing and not be quiet, you sound horrible, you know. She said sing, you know. So my whole and I think it's because that was my destiny. You know, I feel like we are born with a destiny. I don't think that we're dropped in here without anything. You know, we might not remember, you know, we don't remember, but we can listen. And I think one's ability to listen has everything to do with what you came here with. You know, sometimes you have to learn to listen, you know, and sometimes you can listen, you know, but the most important thing is not to judge yourself, you know, along the way. And I just had fun with music. And music saved me with allowing me to cry when I heard Nina Simone sing I Loved You, Porgy, and to hear those harmonies, to hear the harmonies of Curtis Mayfield, to hear the harmonies of the Beatles, the harmonies of Sly and the Family Stone, the harmonies of Earth, Wind and Fire, all of this, the music of Carole King, the music of Aretha Franklin, all of that was dialed into me. And then I had my own music because I really thought that I wrote O King Wenceslas. You know the song? And that's the first song I remember playing when I was a little kid. I never had piano lessons. I figured out that melody. I could always play it. I thought I wrote that song. I really do think I did. I think whoever that composer was, I think it might have been Handel, but whoever it was, I just think that I was that person. And I came. The only thing I came with, Angel, was that song. You know, it's like that's what I came with.
Oh my gosh. Well, Rickie, do you want to sing something for us?
Well, Sonny, since you have sung your father's song with such, with such willingness and beauty, it was just so beautiful the way you loved the song, and to watch you sing it while you sang it was just like, I was like, she's amazing. I gotta do something after that,
Oh my God! Well, this is our Christmas music show.
Exactly, it is.
Okay, but this is not a Christmas song I'm about to do because, like I said, the Grinch is strong with me. I have a song kind of like what your dad wrote that I wrote when I was 20 years old, and it was just like, and now I realize why I never did it, because it's so sad, but it's so beautiful too, I could put it out as a Christmas song, but I don't do so much Christmas. Okay, so I'll do a little bit of this song from my CD called "It's Time to Fly." How about that?
Perfect.
Okay, all right. But there are other songs that people know, but I'm going to do a little bit of this. And I apologize for my piano being out of tune. I think the divine wants me to play on this out of tune piano because piano tuners are not showing up. So the song goes like this. My, oh my, I think it's time to fly. It's such a thing to fly. It's such a thing to leave the ground so close and familiar. So hold me high as I ascend to fly, piercing the air with speed I never owned, faster than I have flown. Upward I go, and oh, how the fear will tell you no, how there's no way you're gonna make it through. But don't listen and don't slow down if you are the one whose time has come to fly. I'm not doing that whole song now. Like that, Angel?
Thank you. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Amazing.
And as you were talking, I remember when I was still a little kid in Spain, in the bedroom, my brother and I, he's 2 years younger, we had this old radio.
Yeah.
And we would hear, when you mentioned that, we would hear Nina Simone's song over and over again back in Spain.
Yeah.
So it's funny. So now when you were singing, again, it's synchronicity after synchronicity. So thank you very much for sharing that beauty.
Oh, man.
There's a part in that what I wanted to say is that it's like, don't listen and don't slow down if you are the one whose time has come. But at the end, it's like, at the end of the song, it's like, it's like, so, what is it? I can't even remember the second verse. It's like, fine. So I am not afraid to fly. God of the wind is guiding me, clearing all the turbulence in my mind. Oh, time stands still as I approach the hill. The truth is calling me with such velocity. Upward I go, and oh, how the fear will tell you no. How? There's no way you're gonna make it through. But don't listen and don't slow down. Don't listen and don't slow down. I can't listen and I can't slow down, 'cause baby, I'm the one whose time has come to fly. Yeah. I'm the one whose time is, and then fly. It feels so good to fly, and it just goes, it feels so good to fly. And so I just wanted to say, I claim for myself that it's my time to fly. Not like I'm wondering, should I go or is it time? It's like, no, it's time.
I think sometimes it's also, it can be a little scary, and I think that's when it's really cool. when we had those experiences, like you guys both have had so many, and I've had a few too, where when we have chosen to fly or leave, and then the result has been okay, you know, and so then it's sort of like, well, we have a little bit of that or a lot of that to build on. The next time something comes up, at least we know we're going to land on our feet. It may be a little this or that, or we may land on a mountain on our feet. You know, we may land much higher even than we thought we could land, but we have the experience, the trust in ourselves. And the more we use that muscle, I feel like I've learned that in my life, the more I trust myself to push through the fear and the, you know, sort of the not knowing what the result's going to be, and just allowing myself to fly. And trusting in myself that it's going to happen, then it helps to keep trying it.
I think you are right, you know, but I think that part of growing up, at least when I'm maturing and coming into that wisdom, these wisdom years, you know, we're not supposed to be, I think we weren't meant to be, I don't want to use the word stupid, I'll just say inexperienced.
Mm-hmm.
For the whole journey. You know, it's like we're supposed to learn from the things that we've been through. I mean, that's why we're here. We are here to learn and to remember. You know, it's like what I said earlier, it's like when we jumped, it's in us, you know, but we have to mine it, you know, mine for that. But what I know about you, Sonny, or what I think I know about you, is that you have a very powerful organizational skill. You know, you do. And so we have our gifts. And my gift was to remember what you just said about myself. It's like, but because I hadn't, I won't say been wise enough, but I hadn't been aware enough of my power as an artist, as a woman. You know, I hadn't been aware of what I have been building all these years. It's like, hey, dude, you didn't just come to the rodeo. You have a track record. But you know, but when you're in the thick of it, it's like every now and then you can go. I have gone to the place of not remembering, you know. So my record, "It's Time to Fly," was every song was remembering. It's like bam, you know. Every song is an affirmation. Every song is about wow. You know, you got to spiral up to see, you know, what you came to know. You know, it's like you're spiraling up. You know, the greater possibilities is there, you know, and so every song helped to deliver me there so that I could remember, that right now, I'm gonna be okay. I am okay. You know, I am okay. Right in this frame, I am okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Rickie. Are you able to sit before your piano for more than 5 minutes when you are in a concert? Because you're so powerful. You know, you're so powerful. You're speaking from your heart. I mean, I see your entire being, you know, getting excited about what you are, what you do. And I mean, I cannot see you just behind your piano playing in a concert and just staying there. I mean, I see you like jumping, and I see you like all the masses just, you know, like being excited about you and who you are and who you represent and what your songs are.
Thank you, Angel. You know, that's why I had to leave Agape, because I got tired of just being at the piano on the side. You know, it's like it was time for me to express myself. Yeah. You know, but that was Michael's domain, clearly.
Yeah. By the way, I'm thinking about if you wanted to do a little spiral up or carry on, or honor, or
honey, I am yours. I'll do whatever you say right now, except freedom.
Okay. Well, you were just talking about spiraling up, so maybe a little spiral up.
I think, Angel, I think you're like.
There was a vortex of energy being created when she was speaking before. Really, it was a big vortex of energy. So please talk about spirals and vortex and keep singing, Rickie.
Spiral up to see the greater, possibly the deeper world we live in, ebbs and flows inside the things we think are so, but there's a greater plan for us. After we grieve and cry and fuss, spiral up to see we came to shine. The plan for us is so divine. Spiral up to see the greater possibility. The world we live in ebbs and flows inside. The things we think are so, but there's a greater plan for us. After we grieve and cry and fuss, spiral up to see we came to shine. The plan for us is so divine. Joy, 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 joy. Because I think we came to be joyous.
Beautiful. Wow. How amazing is that? I mean, Sunny, thank you very much for bringing Rickie today. It's been an incredibly unique experience. I can't wait to see her live, really, and to become her first and her best fan.
Yes,
in the audience. Yes. In the audience, absolutely. So you mentioned a word which is very difficult to accept in our society, and I think that we don't do enough. And I think that a lot of the people that are watching us today, besides being delighted for the music and the magic and the healing aspect of it, they still have a hard time forgiving themselves.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've had to make a few changes in my life, many different occasions, and Sunny has had to reinvent herself as well. I remember when she was telling me about the solutionary idea a few months ago, and why is it so hard to forgive ourselves, Rickie, according to your experience?
All right. I think, and this is not coming from my own wisdom, this is some inspiration I got from this beautiful book that I wish I had it right here. It's called My Love You, My Grandchildren. And it's a great book that's written by this brilliant imam from Sri Lanka. But he wasn't an imam. I forget what he was. He's a sheikh. Bahayuddin. But he tells stories. And so that's the way you get this. He tells the stories to these children. And they're fantastic stories. And this is the most powerful book. And he says, because I was having an issue with it, because, like I talked about the Uber therapist. So I was in the Uber, right? So I was going like, what would you think? And I don't know why this was on me. It's like there's only one person on the planet in my immediate circle that I cannot forgive, that I could not forgive. And that was somebody that I gave some money 2 years ago that never paid me back. And I saw him regularly at a spiritual center. And I'm going like, dude, I just can't look at this guy because every time I see him, well, he didn't pay me my money back. And I didn't, and there was money that I needed for my kids at the time. He never paid me my money back and blah, blah, blah. So, in terms of forgiving ourselves, like so I was like, why can't I forgive him? Right? And so I'm asking the Uber driver. So the Uber driver says, you got to forgive him because, it doesn't make your life better. He's going on with his life and you got all this anger and blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking like, well, that's a good answer, but it was still with me. I pick up the book, right? And isn't this just the way it works, Sunny? You pick up the book and you open and you go to what you need. And what Baba, what the great Sheikh said, he says, dude, wisdom has no enemy. It's like wisdom doesn't have enemies. A man of wisdom, a woman of wisdom does not have enemies because a woman of wisdom knows that that if somebody has done you wrong, it was that person's ignorance. It was the ignorance of, give me a moment. I gotta give you his words.
We'll chat amongst ourselves. By the way, while Rickie's getting the book, I want to tell you guys that in the magazine, I wrote this article called "We the People of the Iroquois Nation."
Yeah, I have it here.
And in it, I write this thing about rock and resources, and I put all different things in it. And one of the things I put in it, I put any song by Rickie Byars Beckwith for inspiration. So, you know, there's so many you guys must check out by just Googling her and finding all kinds of music. And
look at that light. Look at Rickie's light, Sunny. Look at Rickie's light.
I know, she is lit. God. I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
This is so good. It's so good.
There's not enough light on any stage in the world to light as much as she does. It's amazing.
She is, yeah. So go.
So his name is His Holiness M.R. Bawa Mahayadin, and he is a His Holiness. You know, I know His Holiness the Dalai Lama. This guy's a His Holiness. He's a holy. He says, to a true human being, to one with wisdom, there are no enemies in the world. You should never call anyone an enemy. It is not possible for wisdom or for a wise man who has truth within him to call someone an enemy. It is not compatible to wisdom. Why? Because God has no enemies. God does not hate anyone. God does not even consider Satan an enemy. Truth has no enemies. And then he says, there are no enemies to wisdom. However, ignorance, arrogance, and illusion do exist in the world. A person only does something wrong out of ignorance. He does not do something wrong because of antagonism or hatred or willfulness, but because he is ignorant. It is selfishness, arrogance, karma, and maya that do wrong. These qualities make him do it, nothing else. The wrongdoer is suffering from his state of ignorance. If he had wisdom, he would not make those mistakes. You know, so I'm good. It's like if he develops good qualities, then he will not do wrong. Therefore, recognize the state a person is in and do not see him as an enemy. And you know, that's so brilliant because that can be the same for yourself. You know, it's like if you did something, I've done things that I am not proud of in my life. But I just could not do better at the time. I didn't know better. You know, I didn't. Yeah. You know, and so the way I make up for it is I live the best life I can from this point on. You know, I live the best life I can. That's the way I get through it, Angel.
Beautiful. We have to start wrapping up. Unfortunately, it's been one of the shortest 1 hour interviews we've ever had in Mindalia TV. I can tell you that. We know about your CD. Tell us, please, where can we find you? Where can people find you?
Okay, you can find me at rickiebyars.org. You can. I'm redoing my website, but there's a lot on there about me. My Facebook, Rickie Byars. Instagram, Rickie Byars.
Would you mind spelling it, please?
RickieByars. And I was also the artist known as Rickie Byars Beckwith. So, you know, Rickie Byars Beckwith is still in the world. That was, that's still my legal name, but I'm moving toward Rickie Byars.
And if I can add to that for people, if you just go on YouTube and put in Rickie Byars, Rickie BB, Rickie Byars Beckwith, hundreds of things will come up, just hundreds. Her dancing all around the world, singing and being here and there and everywhere. So that's a really good way to do it. Just good old YouTube.
YouTube. You're right, YouTube.
Oh, you dance as well? You dance as well, Rickie?
Are you kidding? You know, I got to come on again, Angel.
Exactly.
Angel, you're from, okay. You ever heard of this song called She Can't Love You by Chayes? It's like, she can't love you. She can't love you like I do. It's a big hit in France and all over Europe. Anyway, I'm Chayes, right? I'm the real Chayes. I did this song, this dance record years ago.
Oh my God.
When I had my first baby so that I could make some money, right? 11 million on YouTube. 11 million.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's amazing.
They played it at the World Cup. I was like, oh, what? You know, I got it.
Beautiful. Congratulations.
So you're not have to put this in the corner.
Exactly. So before we run out of time, Sunny, so where can people find you, please?
You can find me on YouTube also, Sunny Chayes, or Sunny at Let's Imagine .live, or ABC Solutionary Sundays, or here next week on Thursday, same bat channel, same bat time.
Exactly. And before we go, just to remind everybody, excuse me, that we are, as you know, a couple of weeks ago, we started telling everybody that on January 3rd, we have prepared this movement. We have started this movement called Only Love Capitol Hill. Only Love Capitol Hill. We want to conduct we are conducting a love intention experiment for Capitol Hill when, all the new politicians actually are sworn in. Is that sworn in?
And right? They start work that day at noon.
Exactly. So we are actually contacting everybody in the world that they believe that there's so much more that our love can do for everybody, and we want to send that love to all these people, regardless of their political party, regardless of what side of the aisle they are. We want to send them love that day at that time, so they really we started this new term in a different mood, and all the country comes together, and we're all together regardless of where we are, where we come from.
Yes.
Again, you will find us, Only Love Capitol Hill social media outlets in Twitter, in Facebook, on Facebook, on Instagram. The same with the Spanish. There's already people being organized in Latin America. They're going to be also conducting the same experiment. Love experiment is Solo Amor Capitol Hill. Solo Amor Capitol Hill.
Say that again. What's the last part?
Solo Amor in Spanish. Capitol.
Solo Amor.
Yeah, Solo Amor. Exactly. It's like Only Love in Spanish. Capitol Hill. Am I forgetting anything? We're really running out of time today.
I think that's it. Just Merry Christmas, Happy Holy Days to everyone.
We'd like to have you again, Sunny. You are amazing.
Which starts on December 26th. Yes. And again, Rickie, I'm so honored that you were here, and I'm so glad you got to play with Angel today, because I know that it just was such a treat for all our new Mindalia TV peeps out there. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, exactly. So thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much, Rickie, for being with us today. Thank you for obviously performing before everybody. Sunny, what an amazing discovery today with you, and the song beautiful. You never cease to surprise us. So, and everybody, this is Angel Rebo with Mindalia TV. We have to run to close today. Thank you for being with us today, and hope to see you soon. Merry Christmas on behalf of Mirna, of myself, of Mindalia TV and television. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.